Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today, I've got a beef cheek. This is one of those cuts that I think is absolutely fantastic. And we're going to smoke it today outside on the pellet smoker. So, first off, mix of 50-50 salt and pepper. This is one of those cuts that gives you a big beefy flavor in a tiny small package. I really like having it braised. It's fantastic braised and then shredded, pulled apart, either for sandwiches or tacos or that sort of thing. And we'll do one of those coming up shortly because I bought a few of them. Used to be able to get them at my local grocery store if I asked. You'd have to go to the meat counter and say, "Can you bring me in some beef cheeks?" They'd bring them in. They'd be frozen, and I'd bring them home frozen and have to thaw them. Post-COVID, they won't bring them in anymore. And so I had to go out and search for them this time around. It's the same sort of thing. I was able to get them fresh though. And I put a bunch in the freezer so that I can have them. Today we're going to smoke it. We're going to slow smoke it. I've got the pellet grill going outside at about 230 degrees. I'm going to try to keep it between 225 and 250. We're going to slow smoke it. Once I get the internal temperature up to about 160, we'll wrap it in butcher paper and then continue to cook it. This is, I know it's small, but to me, that's one of the attractions to it because it cooks relatively quickly. I don't have to babysit it like a brisket for 24 hours or more. And because there's only Julie and I, we don't have to be eating it for weeks. So out to the smoker we go. Okay, out here at the pellet smoker, I'm gonna stick this on and put in the temperature probe. And we'll come back at 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, we have reached 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So, pull the temperature probe out. And we'll bring this inside for wrapping. Okay, so this is pretty tiny. I took it off at 160. There's an argument to be made to take it to a higher temperature to develop more bark on the outside. If it was a bigger cut, I'd be all on board for that. Definitely, completely 100% on board. But it's a very tiny cut. By the time you got it to 180 inside, the outside would be well and truly burnt to a crisp. Inedible tough. So we don't want that. Now, I would put beef fat down here, but I'm out of beef fat. I save fat every time I cook, but I'm out of beef fat. I'm going to use bacon fat because, you know, bacon fat goes with everything. So, onto the fat. Let's just put a little bit more on top, because why not? And we'll wrap this up. Nice and tight. Now, I'm going to put this back on the smoker until we reach an internal temperature of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Get the temperature probe back in. And so I hear you, 100%. At this point, leaving it on the smoker, the smoke isn't going to do anything. It's hot. You could put it in your oven, heat up your oven to 225, 230, 240, something like that. Stick it in the oven to cook it the rest of the way. I need my oven this afternoon for something else. Smoker's hot, smoker's already running. I'm just going to keep running it until we reach that temperature. Okay, we've reached 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to leave this on the counter to cool down to about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not going to take long. It's pretty small. It's going to cool down pretty quickly. Once it reaches about 150, there's no chance that it's going to, that carryover cooking is going to cook it too far, which isn't a huge worry for me, but anyway. And then I'm going to put it in this insulated box and let it sit for 2 or 3 hours until Julie gets home from work, which gives me enough time to make this cake. Ooh. Okay. Now, we'll unwrap this. Okay, let's get a knife.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Jules.
I see you getting a knife. I just stayed being cautious there. Hey, friends. What do you
Getting
got?
a knife. Smoked beef cheek.
That's a lot bigger than a cod cheek.
It is bigger than a cod cheek.
Let's see, I'm peeking over.
Oh, okay. Looks good. Look at that.
Clearly, it's cutting well.
Yeah.
She just...
Okay.
So I'll just use my... It's got that texture you like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try it with your cowboy
Oh, cowboy candy.
candy.
Pickled jalapenos. That'll be really good. So, I maybe could have taken this to 220. I took it off at 200. Could have gone maybe a little bit farther. But, good smoke, good bark, good texture.
I was going to say, it's got an interesting... It's got a really... The texture has the added of all the... Can't think of the right word I'm looking for.
The collagen. And
Yes, thank you. The
yeah,
collagen.
Yeah.
I kept thinking gluten. It's like, it's not gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the
And
collagen.
it's a really, it's got a big beef flavor, doesn't it? It's got a really interesting, nice flavor. Okay. If you can get beef cheek, you have to search for it a little bit. It's not available everywhere. I think it's an interesting meat, and it's our size.
Yes, it's enough for 2 people.
We're not eating it
Even with,
yeah.
it's probably even still 2 meals, if
Yeah.
not more.
Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.